Yo, what's going on YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Ford. Today we are taking a look today at the latest on Nashville Predators forward Erik Haula, who seems to be generating a little bit of interest on this year's trade deadline market. We'll be taking a look at that in this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL, you guys know what to do. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below. And let's take a look at Erik Haula. So, Erik Haula, the 30-year-old forward playing with the Nashville Predators. He's spent a couple seasons in the league to finish forward. A former 2009 7th round draft pick of the Minnesota Wild has definitely found his way around the league. This is his 5th team with the Nashville Predators, and it seems like he could be on the move again before the 2021 trade deadline. So he's got 9 points in 28 games with the Preds this season. He's playing over 15 minutes of ice time per game with the Predators. He's been playing fairly well recently too. He picked up 2 points over the last couple of games. He's been pretty good in the face-off circle. This is a guy that has done a pretty good job in the NHL. I mean, he's had 8 years in the big leagues. He's picked up over 180 points in the NHL. Over 400 games in the league. I mean, Erik Haula has definitely made his rounds in the league. And this is a guy that I think could be an interesting ad for a team. He's got a 40.6% face-offs. He's really good in the face-offs, which I think is a good stat to have. Again, face-offs as a center winger, he is a good player for that. And there are a couple of teams that have shown interest in Erik Haula. And the big reason teams have shown interest in Haula is he could jump into the middle six, and his contract is quite nice. So looking at Erik Haula, can I find him? There he is. So $1.75 million for this season, and then he is a unrestricted free agent this summer. So he's a rental, a cheap rental. And we have heard, according to sources, let's take a look. So from the 4th period, the Nashville Predators forward Erik Haula has been linked to the Colorado Avalanche and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are both looking to add some forward depth. It makes a lot of sense. Now, he could probably go for like a 2nd, maybe a 3rd round draft pick, and he is a good player that you could jump into the lineup. Again, I think a team like the Avalanche makes a lot of sense. I think the Avalanche are going for a little bit bigger game hunting because they have a lot of cap space, so he may not be their top guy at the list. For a team like Toronto, though, who doesn't have a ton of cap space, Erik Haula making under $2 million for this season could be a very attractive option. Come on, you got to load daily face-off. I want to see the lines. Come on, man. Yeah, this computer is shot. Yeah, this thing is slow. But like I said, I think that a guy like Erik Haula is going to do well on the trade market. I think a lot of teams, the thing is, Erik Haula is not going to get a huge amount of value back, but the fact that a lot of teams are going to be able to acquire him makes him more attractive. Because the problem is with a guy like Taylor Hall, right? He has the former 1st overall pick aura to him, but that's starting to wear off. And he's making $8 million this season. He's not even playing that well. So teams aren't even going to be that attracted to a Taylor Hall, and he's going to still come in at a pretty steep price. Erik Haula, who you know is going to be a rental anyway, and he's going to be you know what he is, and he's going to be a good player in that role, and he's going to be cheaper. It just makes sense for a team like Toronto and Colorado to show some interest. He's going to be a good depth piece because you're going to have injuries, especially this year going into the playoffs. So I think he's a perfect fit for these teams, and if these freaking lines will ever load up, I want to take a look at the Avs lineup because I think it would fit really well in the Avs system. And, they've got a really good defense, but we want to see them maybe add a little bit more up front because you've got a really stacked top 6, and then things they get swallowed up in the bottom 6. But I think Erik Haula would be a nice addition. So you've got Landeskog, McKinnon, and Rantanen in the top pair. Then you've got Saad, Kadri, and Burakovsky. I mean, this is a really good all-around team, so he could fit anywhere in the bottom 6. You have Natushkin, Yost, or Tyson Yost, Jonas Donskoy, Matt Calvert, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, and JT Compher. So he could fit in any of that mix in the bottom 6. I think you could have a nice addition of Erik Haula. So maybe he's not that needed in Colorado, but I think they're looking at injuries. I think that's what Joe Sakic sees, As listen, we want to just get some stability. Because I think other than those 12 guys, I think it gets a little bit more slim pickings for the Avs. But the Leafs, I think, are a little bit more desperate in that need. Yeah, absolutely. So you've got Galchenyuk on the second line, Wayne Simmons on the first line. You could throw Erik Haula in the top 6 for this Leafs team, and he would probably do well. I think he's a better player than Alex Galchenyuk. You got Joe Thornton and Spezza on the wings on the third line. Mikheyev and Hyman. I don't think Hyman's a fourth liner, but again, this is according to Daily Faceoff. You could throw him on the top line. But I think it's just an interesting scenario. I think, honestly, Haula could fit anywhere on the left side for this Leafs team on any line, any given line, because I think he's better than Simmons, Galchenyuk, Thornton, and even Mikheyev. So I think that's interesting. I think he's a guy that the Leafs are probably going to key in on, again, especially with the cap consideration in there. I think this is a guy that would fit really well in Toronto. I think we could see a nice deal. And again, he's probably going to cost you a second-round pick, which Toronto, they have their second-round pick this year. They don't have their third-round pick, so maybe it's going to cost them a second and maybe a B or C level prospect. A second might just be enough here for Erik Haula, but I think it's interesting. Like I said, I think Erik Haula to the Leafs would be a good fit. It's not the big name player, the flashy player, but it even still allows them, if they trade Alex Kerfoot to maybe the Nashville Predators for maybe Matthias Ekholm. Maybe we see a bigger deal. We see Matthias Ekholm and Erik Haula go to the Maple Leafs in a big blockbuster deal. Maybe you see a first and a couple draft picks, as well as Erik Haula, go the other way. We could maybe see something like that work. And maybe they trade Zach Hyman in order to bring in Erik Haula as that replacement, so they know they don't have to worry about, they get something at least for Zach Hyman. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I know Leaf fans may not like the thought of Erik Haula maybe getting replaced for Zach Hyman here on this, this cup run. But if you bring in Matthias Ekholm, maybe is that worth the price? Maybe just a little bit more. Let me know what you think down below. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.